I met a gypsy.
That's probably one of the good things about our sport is that, like, I could start a team tomorrow.
Exactly.
And I could go to the pit. It's obviously like, it takes a lot of money to be competitive and then to pay right. Like, I mean, dude, what would Star Yamaha spend a year?
Oh, I'm not even privy to their budgets, but
Ballpark.
dude,
guess.
they got. All right, let's just simple math. If you got 450 riders over there,
$1 million each. Maybe not each.
on average. No, just do an average instead of.
Because it probably works out.
Yeah, you got here and
Yeah.
here and here, and let's just say. I figure you got to be 5'6" with 3 guys, because you got 2 marquee guys
Yeah.
over there, and then you get into what's their lights program?
27 lights riders.
I was talking to Jensen earlier, and I said, dude, you got like 25 guys over. You're like, yeah, it's just about that. I'm like, no, really, what is it? What are you at right now? He's like, I think I'm 12 between pro and am.
Yeah.
With what they got,
which is fucking amazing for the sport.
Yeah, I mean,
God bless him for doing it.
Do you remember when Bobby Reagan was in the back 30 of the pits,
Dude,
with a straight hauler?
Yeah.
And he's been so passionate about this sport, and what Bobby's done has been amazing. Like the newer people, the younger people of our sport don't remember 15 years or weren't here 15 years ago when Bobby was just a passionate owner who cared about these kids, loved our sport, kept investing in it. And then you're sitting here looking at Yamaha Factory. They couldn't win a championship for 20 years. And then they take a flyer with Bobby, and maybe it wasn't a flyer. Bobby earned that right by getting results and getting better and better. And then no sooner do they put their faith in Star Yamaha, and it's just been a championship machine.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing I've always commended Bobby on, he played college football. He played at LSU.
No way.
Yeah, there was a story in Racer X they did on him, Davey, or someone did on him a while back, and it opened my eyes. I knew Bobby played football because we'd talk. My boys played ball, and we'd compare notes on the college football side of things. But I did not know how passionate he was, and then he was a car dealer, and the successes he's
just a winner.
He's a winner.
Yeah.
And he took that football mentality, and I've said this for years. I'm like, I don't understand how these OEMs are spending so much money on these kids. They need to spend the money on the kids. But they get about 9/10 of the way there. And what I think is the last most important nugget of that whole thing is the training of these guys. Now, you're going to sign the 18-year-old, 20-year-old kid, 7-figure deal, high 6-figure deal, and say, run your own, go train. You need to be ready to race.
Yeah, imagine that football. See you Saturday.
Exactly.
Fuck no. You live here, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're giving these guys all this money. You're not watching their diet. You're not watching what they're eating. You're not paying attention to their training program. You're leaving it on a 20-year-old to challenge himself and push himself. And what, 1 out of 100 might actually have the tenacity to do that?
Yeah,
and now you want them
odds.
to go spend money and invest in a trainer when these kids they got alligator arms when it comes to finding their wallets when they get the money, unless it's going to buy Supreme or Gucci or a Benz or something like that, but they're not going to invest it into their careers. When talking football, Derrick Henry, the gnarliest running back in the NFL right now, he spends $250,000 a year on his food intake and what he puts in his body, as an example.
Yeah. I've
High
had this
performance elite athlete. And then Bobby's over here and he brings Swanee in. Okay, I want all these kids here. I want them under my thumb. I'm building a gym. I'm building a training facility. I'm building my own college football compound that I am going to keep my eye on my investments. That's smart business. I mean, I just don't understand. Bobby's been doing this for 10 years and no one else can't see that this works. Like the level of investment that these OEMs are making, and then they just get to the finish line and they leave that nugget out. And everyone's like, why is Bobby winning so much? He's now investing in these amateurs. I mean, and developing them, again, looking at football and how these kids go to all these camps and travel ball and all that, and the investment these schools are making in them. It's the same darn thing, just a different sport, in my opinion. Same age group. I mean, you name any 16 to 20-year-old that you give a fat paycheck to that's going to be responsible. But yet we think they can be, and you're putting all that on him, and then that star rider gets hurt at A1, and he's out for 4 months.
Dude, so right. I had no idea that Bobby played college football. Like, so I would always say you go to Star Yamaha, it's just scrimmage. I'm like using all these
Oklahoma's.
I'm using these football analogies and to describe what they're doing. It's like I had no idea that he played football.
Yeah, I think that's why he has he had a knee replacement, hip replacement, maybe both.
Yeah,
but he's had a hitch in his giddy.
He's a big dude, eh?
Yeah. You want to get Bobby going? Just sit down and talk football with him. That's how
I need to get him.
I love to break bread with Bobby and just talk outside of racing.
Yeah,
but then he's so passionate about our sport.
Dude, I remember going in like 2012, maybe 2012, 13, and seeing Jeremy Martin wearing a black sweatshirt with Metal Militia Rockstar on the Star Yamaha, pumping 35-minute motos at Parla, and just like with their little box van, the little Star crew with the quick shade.
Dude, Brian and I talk about that. I was like, could you imagine if Metal Militia was still on Star?
Dude.
All those championships, militia gear, and Bobby, put Bobby in a militia hat and thug him out. Do some content with Bobby and Brian.
How did that come about in the early days anyway with Brian and Militia?
That was us.
Yeah, okay.
That was our camp, obviously, with Brian. That was really when Militia was pumping some numbers. Like they were rivaling Fox numbers, if I'm not mistaken, on the casual goods side. And we had put together, it started with the Rockstar deal when we moved Brian from Sobe No Fear over to Rockstar. And we put that deal together. And it wasn't just a deal for Brian. It was Brian wanted to take care of the crew. So it was a whole PSA endorsement for Brian, but then the Metal Militia team. And then we did a collab on the merch side, which was Rockstar Militia. Yeah,
I remember all that
and
stuff.
And that blew up, and then Fox ended up doing a collab with Rockstar 2 down the road.
Yeah.
But that blew up, and then we activated it with the Mayhems of Rock tour. And we had freestyle demos that went on tour. And literally the freestyle guys became rock stars.
Yeah.
Literally rock stars on tour doing these demos for years. And that's how we started to build all that out, was through that rocks. And so that licensing was working. It's like, okay, what's next?
Yeah, like what else can we put this on?
We did the shoes with Etnies, and then we started doing some off-road wheels with 4-wheel parts, the Militia line of wheels, and then that evolved into a Deegan 38 line of wheels. And Brian's like, dude, we should do gear. Like we should do Militia gear the way the brand's going. And we ended up cutting a deal with MSR.
Yeah.
And then we got the MSR deal. And we were doing good sales, and the way we structured it, we had a marketing budget, and we had input with the guys at MSR where we wanted those marketing dollars allocated. So we're like, dude, let's get into racing, and we got the deal done with Bobby because we brought him. We had the Militia MSR deal. We had, I think, we brought him a title sponsorship with a credit card company. You may not remember this, MyPlash.
Nah.
They're prepaid credit cards.
Yeah.
And they were called MyPlash. And each rider had his own image on the card. And they were the title sponsor for a few years with Bobby. Then we had the Militia MSR gear deal. And then Bobby goes and gets Cooper and Jeremy Martin. Look at what they accomplished. Had we kept that deal going, we laugh about, man, could you imagine Militia gear over there with Star Racing today? What it could be doing sales-wise in this industry.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.